Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Yeah. Walk one from campus. How we are carry on from campus. All right. Welcome, one and all to Campus Connection here on the Family Station, Love 101. I am Jonathan Fletcher, riding solo this evening, but you know we're here for a good time as we explore Wagwan Pan campus. I just want to make it clear that Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. That's the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. We have such an amazing show lined up for you this evening, and we want to take a word from our sponsors before we go into that.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the
5:32. Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price. Welcome back to Campus Connection, proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And on the matter of security, we're continuing the conversation this evening as we dive into our safety and security topic we started last week and want to continue because there are a number of things that we didn't get the chance to discuss. So it's going to be a wonderful conversation, and you want to be with us as we speak with our specialists, Miss Ashley and Ashley, cybersecurity and cybercrime policy specialist in the Cyber Intelligence Policy and Incident Response Branch, Ministry of National Security and Peace, and also Miss Zoe Duncan, Tier 1 Security Operations Center Analyst, Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, and they will be sharing with us their expert insights and practical tips to help us stay protected in today's fast-changing world. But before all of that, we will, of course, have our education news and bulletin, and then our creative block. We'll be talking with Ruth Lawrence. She's an empowerment specialist and author. We also have our I Chose Christ feature, and that will be done by Carissa Williams, a first-year student at the University of Technology, Jamaica. So let's jump right into the show. We want to encourage you to interact with us via Facebook, YouTube, or on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Our studio lines are open at 876-968-8327, or you can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. The question we're asking this evening to you or listening and viewing public: what are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and overall safety? What are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and overall safety? You can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. Or you can comment on our live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica. We're going straight into our education news and bulletin, and this will be done by our campus consultant, Camille Lawrence.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, September 30, 2025. Calabar principal stands firm on dress code. Amid the fresh round of fiery debates over schools' enforcement of the dress code for students, Calabar High School Principal Diane Mahay Wilson is insisting that the policy instills a healthy psychological values and upholds equity within the school environment. She stated that the dress code adds to the identity of an institution and plays an integral role in building a young student's character and holistic development. Additionally, she noted that it could help them to develop a positive mental image of themselves, which heightens self-esteem and confidence. Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon waded into the dispute, voicing support for schools upholding policies in the interest of discipline, but maintained that students must not be denied entry to their place of learning. Mahay Wilson maintained that the rules of the school were not implemented in the interest of restricting expression, but to prepare students for the world outside of school, where rules exist and must be adhered to. Jamaica's first STEAM Academy to be established in St. Catherine. Jamaica's first Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts and Mathematics Academy, STEAM, is being established in St. Catherine as part of the government's thrust to better prepare students for the jobs of the future. Deputy Chief Education Officer for Core Curriculum and Support Services at the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Winnie Berry, made the disclosure while speaking during the launch of Jamaica's Young Voices Sustainable Development Goals SDG Creative Expression Competition, held on Thursday, September 25 at Excelsior High School in Kingston. Ms. Berry, who represented Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Dr. Kassan Troop, informed that plans are underway to expand the number of STEAM academies to 6 by 2029. These institutions will feature state-of-the-art facilities, advanced laboratories, and dedicated spaces for digital innovation, robotics, and the creative arts. Ms. Berry noted that the initiative aligns with broader educational reforms, including the ministry's Transforming Education for National Development program, TREND, which aims to modernize curriculum delivery and ensure equitable access to quality learning opportunities for all students. She added that the Educational Trust also aligns with Vision 2030 Jamaica, the national development plan aimed at making the country the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. She stated that the ministry's emphasis on innovation is reflected in the launch of Jamaica's Young Voices competition, which will engage students from grades 4 to 13 in poetry, short stories, visual art, and digital media. She added that outstanding entries will be featured in Jamaica's official report to the United Nations in July 2026, underscoring the seriousness with which the government values the contributions of young people. The Director General of the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, Dr. Wayne Henry, welcomed the competition as a meaningful platform for empowering young Jamaicans to contribute to national development. He added that the initiative ensures the ideas of young people are not only heard, but actively incorporated into shaping Jamaica's future development agenda. Submissions for Jamaica's Young Voices SDG Creative Expression Competition are due by December 19, 2025. And now for the bulletins. Get ready for this weekend's Passion and Purity Co-ed High School Conference 2025 under the theme Fully Jesus Lit. Come for the dance, come for the drama, come for the panel discussions with inspiring speakers Reverend Stevenson Samuels, Dr. Daniel Thomas, Pastors Andrew and Donette Norman, live ministry performances by Darren Callum, Chevelle Stewart, David Sutton, and the Genesis Praise Squad, all happening at the Cedar Grove Academy, Gregory Park Main Road, Portmore. Admission free this Saturday, October 4, 2025. And don't miss our Christian Teachers in Action Forum, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. with guest speaker Mrs. Elaine Foster Allen, former principal of the Shortwood Teachers College. Mark your calendars, spread the word, and don't miss out on Passion and Purity Co-ed High School Conference 2025 this Saturday, October 4, starting at 9 a.m. Students Christian Fellowship and Scripture Union invites you to their National Church Service on Sunday, October 12, 2025, starting at 9:30 a.m. at the Jubilee Baptist Church, Tollgate, Clarendon. Join us for a powerful time of worship, fellowship, and the word. For more information, contact us at 876-977-5886 or 876-292-0468. Students, come dressed in your uniform and let us lift up the name of the Lord together. That's the Students Christian Fellowship and Scripture Union National Church Service, Sunday, October 12, starting at 9:30 a.m. That's the education news and bulletins for Campus Connection. I am Camille Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Camille. Camille there with our education news and bulletin here inside Campus Connection, brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. We're going straight into our Creative Block segment. This person is no stranger to the show. She's actually an empowerment specialist and author. She is the founder of Power Her Moves Services, a consultancy specializing in helping mission-driven organizations amplify impact through digital strategy, compelling content, and capacity building excellence to build great teams to make big impact. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about none other than Ruth Lawrence. Ruth, big up yourself, my G. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection here inside our
Hey,
Creative Block segment. You hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Are you hearing me?
Awesome. I'm hearing you as well. I am definitely hearing you. All right, Ruth. So let's go straight into it. When you think Ruth Lawrence, what is the mission of Ruth Lawrence? Can you wrap that up in 30 seconds? I don't know. That possible?
Okay. So yeah, man, possible. So Ruth
All right.
Lawrence, I see myself as you rightly see, an empowerment specialist, helping
Mm-hmm.
persons to tap into the core of who they are and really walking out their purpose. It's as simple as that. Giving them the
Mm-hmm.
tools that they need to really live a purpose driven life. I believe a life that is not lived on purpose is a life never lived. And so it's my mission, I
Mm.
believe, a part of my mission to ensure that everybody understands why they are here and walk out that purpose for their lives.
Wow, beautiful. A life lived on purpose. So when we talk about a life lived on purpose, I'm imagining that you'd have a number of projects, a number of initiatives, a number of activities that
Yes.
you would be pursuing, and one of them is the project called Do It Now. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the Do It Now is really an initiative that I have been doing for possibly the past 5 years, but I've
Mm-hmm.
actually packaged it now to be extended to conferences, to teams, and so forth. So it would have looked a little bit like a vision board and a vision planning workshop that would include,
Mm-hmm.
you adding your photos, making your SMART goals, and all of that. But no, it's really to take it another step further for persons to
Yeah.
understand, looking beyond the material things that we can gain, but also looking beyond the material things that we can gain, but also looking beyond the material things that we can gain and walk that out. How does that look and how can you move into
Mm-hmm.
that? So that's really where we are right now with the Do It Now. And understanding too, don't wait until tomorrow. Do it now because the
Do
only
it
time
now.
we are sure of is the time
Is
we
now.
have now.
Boy,
Yeah.
boy, I'm sure some procrastinators are listening and
Oh
they're
yes,
bawling
and
out,
that's
ouch.
exactly for the procrastinators who
Yeah.
believe in the tomorrow that might never come.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
can
kind of where
imagine.
we
I can
are, but it's
imagine.
in a
Mm-hmm.
so that's really where we are, just to ensure that persons are able to create SMART goals. And by SMART, the
Mm-hmm.
acronym specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, ensuring that they are able to identify and walk in their purpose boldly. And lastly,
Mm-hmm.
creating that vision plan for their lives so that they're able to chart the course to purpose.
Wow, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have more with Ruth after this break. Remember, Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. More after these messages.
Me just never did I get through with no work, And me did I get desperate. Till one day me see one ad, but them want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Get ready for Jesus 2025, 25th Jubilee Year of Hope with Father Holong and Friends, a celebration of faith and the life of Jesus Christ at the National Arena. God shows on September 27 to 28 and October 4 to 5. Tickets adults $2,000 and $3,000, children $1,200. All proceeds support missionaries of the poor. Get your tickets now. Call 876-774-7350 or 876-809-5877. Jesus 2025. You can't afford to miss it.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets.
The time that Grace could move is
5:45. It hurts if you don't check birds. Be excellent customer service. Our staff is knowledgeable and trustworthy. And we have a wide variety to supply society. And the price is right, yes, it's worth it. The solution to your auto parts things to one-stop shop. And we deliver to. So if you can't come in, just ring with on WhatsApp. Or call and make your order. And remember, there's no other. So it hurts if you don't check birds. So there's no need to say. It hurts if you don't check birds.
Portmore City comes alive on Saturday, October 4 at the Emmanuel Apostolic Church for the 9th Sterling Gospel Music Awards. It's a celebration of gospel excellence in Jamaica. Dress code, African elegance. Get your tickets at Fontana Waterloo and Portmore Sovereign, formerly Monarch Pharmacy, or online at spurropen.com. That's SPURROPEN.com/Sterling9. VIP reserved seating $7,000. General pre-sold $5,000 at $6,000 at the gate. Children 12 and under $2,000. Lap infants are free. See you there.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price. We see me yard.
All right, welcome back to Campus Connection, proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. You are joining us in our Creative Block segment, and we're speaking with empowerment specialist and author Ruth Lawrence. And before the break, she was beating the procrastinators a little hard. You understand? But for good reasons, definitely for good reasons. Ruth, we were talking about the Do It Now campaign. Can you share with us why is this important, and also can you explain to our listeners and our viewers why should they be a part of something like this?
All right, so definitely, great question, Jonathan. It's important for
Mhm.
persons to be a part of this movement because number one, too many persons are walking around living a purposeless existence. And a lot of the times,
Mm,
what you find when you walk into a purposeless existence, you find that you're miserable. You find that you feel unfulfilled. And what you find is that once you find your purpose, you don't. It's not work. It's something that you know you need to be doing, and not only that too, but that persons are connected to your purpose. A lot of the times, we tend to procrastinate and put off things and not realizing that it's not just for us to manifest or to do or to walk into, but it's to bless or to be a blessing to other people. So it's really important for persons to recognize that what is that gift, what is that talent, what is that business idea, that the Lord has placed in your hands that you need to manifest. You need to walk it out right now. You've done the business plan, you've done the budgeting 5 years ago from Wapikill Philip, but you've never ever taken the step to actually see it to execution because you're waiting on tomorrow. And really, what we're trying to tell persons is that the sign that we want to give you now is that you need to start right now. Because today is the only time that we have been given. You need to start right now because today is the only day. Many of us will talk about Sunday, Monday. For some people it's someday. There is no someday, Monday, Tuesday. There is Sunday, meaning there's a specific time that the things that we
mhm.
have been created to do needs to get done. And so that's really my message to help persons get the book out. Maybe it is that God has laid a book on your heart, get it out. Maybe it is that you need to launch that foundation, get it out. Do it right now because today is the only time that we have been given. Too many persons are dying. As they say, that the graveyard is the richest place on earth because there
Yes.
were potentials that are untapped. There are gifts that were
Mm-hmm.
never used, right? And so you don't want to go to the grave where you are just sad and in regret, but that you can say, yes, I have done all that I have been placed here to do, and I'm good. Signing out. And so we really want persons to live their life on purpose for a purpose. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And quickly, can you share with our listeners and our viewers where they can, find out some more information about Do It Now, Power Her Moves, etc.?
Oh, Ruth Life Speaker underscore JA. That's RUTHLIFESPEAKER underscore JA on Instagram. The flyer is there, and if you wish for me to come to your church or to your youth camp, teen camp, whatever it is, you can send me an email at ruthlifespeaker@outlook.com. come. And I am more than happy to see how best we can really help you to build out that vision so that others can be blessed and you too will also be blessed by by its manifestation.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for making the campus connection, Ruth, and all the very best for this initiative and all the other initiatives that you are currently undertaking.
And there are other things coming up in a Jonathan, but I gotta
Yeah,
give you
I
the
know.
pitch first. So I'll let
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
about that next project.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right. Yeah, man. That was our creative block segment with Ruth Lawrence. She's talking about the Do It Now initiative as she's an empowerment specialist and author. Thank you so much again, Ruth, for making a campus connection this evening on the family station Love 101. We're going straight into our I Chose Christ feature, and this will be done by Carissa Williams, first year student at the University of Technology, Jamaica.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Carissa Williams, and I am a past student of the St. Catherine High School. I attend the University of the Technology. Sorry. Um, the transition from high school to university has truly been a journey of faith, although it's just starting. When registration started, it came with its own trial. Trust me, their system was down. Some financial clearance took a while, and it felt like everything was against me, honestly. And I prayed a lot during that period because I knew I had to depend on God fully. It was not easy. And by the time everything was sorted out, I realized that assignments were already due and I was behind. I had to humble myself and ask classmates about the work and just to catch up. It was overwhelming at times, but I chose to trust God and not give up. And in the middle of those struggles and stuff, God gave me peace through two songs. Um, God Will Work It Out by Naomi Rain and Made a Way by Travis Green. Those words of the song of those songs reminded me that no matter how tough the situation seemed, God was still in control. And looking back, I can say it was only by His grace and strength that I made it through that difficult start. And my testimony is this: when we put our trust in God, He will always make a way, even when it feels impossible.
Powerful testimony there from university student Carissa Williams at the University of Technology, Jamaica. We are so grateful for each and every one of you who take the time out to send in your I Chose Christ testimonies. And of course, if you're listening to this or watching this right now and you want to testify as well as a campusite, as a student, you can send your testimony audio to love101 campus connection at gmail.com. That's love101 campus connection at gmail.com. We have so much more in store for you here inside Campus Connection, and we want you to stick and stay with us. Remember our social media question, of course, it is what are you doing to increase your knowledge of cybersecurity and overall safety? You can send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125, or you can comment on our live stream at Love 101 FM Jamaica on Facebook, YouTube, or on TikTok. And we're going straight into our main segment with Miss Ashley and Miss Zoe Duncan. And we are talking about or continuing the conversation safety and security. Ashley Ann is cybersecurity and cybercrimes policy specialist in the Cyber Intelligence Policy and Incident Response Branch, the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And Zoe Duncan is Tier 1 Security Operations Center Analyst, Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team. And they're, of course, experts in the field ready to share with us. Ladies, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having
Awesome.
us.
Awesome. Thank you for being here with us. So last week we had, I believe, a very fruitful conversation, and it was so nice we had to do it twice, right? So we really have some more things to explore to see how best we can help our listeners to really understand this whole thing of cybersecurity and how critical it is, especially in our society today. So let me ask you, Ashley, Ann, first this question. Why is cybersecurity such a critical part of our overall safety and security right now? Was it because it never really so important 50 years ago, if you will, but why it's so important now?
Well, 50 years ago, we weren't as interconnected as we are today. As we would have discussed last week, almost everything that we do is now technology driven or technology dependent. And so this increases or entices, I would say, bad actors who want to carry out criminal activities in cyberspace. And so as these criminals become more sophisticated in their line of attacks and the things that they do rather, we now have to find a way to combat that and meet them where they are. So cybersecurity is a very critical field and will continue to be a critical field because our data is very important to us. Regardless of what kind of business you operate or what it is that you do, your data is very important. Information security is very important, and so cybersecurity is a very important field, and there are a lot of jobs in this field. Even in government, there are so many things that you can do. You could work in a security operations center as a cybersecurity analyst. You could be working incident response, digital forensics, what I do, which is cybersecurity and cybercrime policy. So the world of cybersecurity, there is so much to do and so many things to be. So like I said before, just to reiterate, it's a very critical field because we are so reliant on our devices and our data, and we need to secure our devices and information.
So much to unpack based on what you would have shared just now. But I want to bring Zoe in on the conversation. When you think of cybersecurity and you think of, social media as it is now, a lot of persons, I'm of the view that people overshare a lot. You buy a new house, you post it. You buy a new car, you post it. Just had a baby, you post it. You are on vacation, you're live posting while you're on vacation. Do you think people really understand the dangers that exist when it comes down to using social media and how they use it now? Zoe, your question.
Yes, I definitely think that people don't understand how dangerous social media is. A lot of people use it as their diary. They share everything that happened to them. And I feel like people don't realize that it's a public space. So if you wouldn't show something in the middle of halfway tree, why would you why would you make everybody on the internet know your business? And I feel like also people go on it to seek validation. It's a lot of internal issues that they haven't been able to sort out. But there are so many positives of social media that I wish the youth would tap into. Like there you can learn digital literacy, creative thinking. It could be your teacher. There's so many opportunities that's in social media. So I wish that we saw the flip side to it.
Wow. So much I want to tap into right there. But we have to take a quick break. Stick and stay with us. We'll have more Campus Connection after these messages.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price.
Tana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock.
See all my other face bruise up? They beat me just because I said I'm tired.
I'm only 13, but they said if I work harder, they will make me go back home.
Me no have no birth paper nor no ID. Them have all of my documents them. Forced labor is one of the many forms of human trafficking. Report suspected cases of human trafficking. Call the nearest police station 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
Portmore City comes alive on Saturday, October 4 at the Emmanuel Apostolic Church for the 9th Sterling Gospel Music Awards. It's a celebration of gospel excellence in Jamaica. Dress code African elegance. Get your tickets at Fontana Waterloo and Portmore Sovereign, formerly Monarch Pharmacy, or online at spuropen.com. That's SPURROPEN.com/Sterling9. VIP reserved seating $7,000. General pre-sold $5,000, $6,000 at the gate. Children 12 and under $2,000. Lap infants are free. See you there.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection, and it's proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. If you're just joining us, we are having a very engaging conversation on the matter of safety and security, and we're joined by Miss Ashley and Miss Zoe Duncan. So before the break, we were talking about social media and how much persons are using social media as their diary, if you will. And I love the analogy that you gave when you said that persons wouldn't necessarily go in the middle of halfway tree and just shout out, "Hey, I just bought a house," because that would be weird, right? So I don't really understand why people do it online, but that's my personal view. But to help our listeners and our viewers to understand things better, we all know the value of personal data and how vulnerable it can be. What are some of the safe online practices that young people in particular can do to employ, protective measures to ensure that their data online is protected? Ashley?
Thanks for that. So firstly, well, we did get into that a little bit last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I will go in depth in terms of, the password and multi-factor authentication. But those are obviously the very first steps that I would recommend. And you brought up a great point earlier about oversharing that, but I don't think people realize how detrimental that can be. And as you said, Zoe gave a great analogy. Your information is very important because there's so much harm can come from certain type of leaks. So let's say, for example, you post about the you post about your family. Everybody knows your the names of your family members, your name, your age, all that information. These things are security questions that you would use to add additional security to say your banking, online banking, for instance. So when you share this information, you're literally open up the door for people to have, you're widening the attack surface, and you're giving away too much information. It's literally like just say, oh, here, this is my my social.
To make it easy for you.
You're making it very easy for attackers to know target you. You're what they would now call an easy target, because in giving all of this, you're just giving away free information essentially. And sometimes we don't think about the things that we're doing online. But like Zoe said, I would say the way that you operate in your day-to-day space, you should take that extra precaution as well. In just like in going into your house, as soon as you get in, the first thing you think to do is close your door. If you're using your phone and you're walking away from your phone or your laptop, any of your devices, the first thing you should do is ensure that you secure your devices. Don't leave your device unlocked. And this can be applied to any environment that you're in, whether your personal space or at work. So I would say just think about the things that you're doing, be more intentional in your actions, and the same way you secure yourself on a day-to-day basis, just try to apply that in the digital space as well.
So much so that oftentimes persons would literally see the digital space as this mystical space. But let me just pause to remind our campusites that it's very real. You know, what you put out online, even if it's deleted, it exists somewhere on some server in some cloud. So it's very important that you are mindful of what you choose to share online. Zoe, when we think of our young people and the amount of time spent online, I mean, I spend a lot of time online on social media, etc. How dangerous is it? Because I really see a lot of cyberbullying taking place, and we touched on this last week, but I wanted to talk about it some more. How dangerous can cyberbullying be? Is there limits to, you know, what cyberbullying can produce?
Well, common form of cyberbullying is harassment. So a lot of offensive messages would be casted towards the victim. Also,
Mm-hmm.
the next one is also rumors would be spread, lies, tarnish your reputation. A lot of trolling. I think trolling is a really popular one, and that's posting like horrible messages to provoke the victim. So it can be very, very harsh and detrimental, right? A lot of people, also victims, take it in different ways. Also, them have suicidal ideation. It can be a lot. So I'd say, really and truly, if this is happening to you, please find a trusted adult to confide in. You know, you can always, if you have a friend, anybody that you see as somebody who can protect you, please. You can also come to us. We provide a lot of help with cyberbullying. We'll help you every step of the way. And yeah.
Staying with you, Zoe. So a parent is recognizing some behavioral patterns with their child. How can they pinpoint and say, okay, these are some of the things that are associated with somebody who is being cyberbullying? Are there any signs?
Well, a common one is withdrawal. So they get very withdrawn from social media, devices on a whole. Their mood will like change. They'll get probably very angry, very anxious. They'll probably try and start avoiding certain activities because they're just going through a lot mentally. Maybe if they're an A student, their grades might drop to a B. A lot of you'll see noticeable changes in different aspects of their life.
Wow, wow. And I sincerely hope our parents, our guardians, our teachers are taking note of these signs that are possibly being shown in our students or young people. Actually,
Just
when we
before we move on, I just wanted
sure.
to add quickly. You mentioned the extent to which cyberbullying can go to, and I just want to indicate that a lot of times, so students are going to school. This is a space where they have to see each other every day. So what happens in the digital space, what they're doing to each other online, can sometimes translate to physical violence. For instance, it really doesn't stop there. Their actions does not stop in what they're doing online. So it's cyberbullying and bullying on a whole is a very serious matter, and so we would have indicated some of the effects of such and I just want to highlight that there are a lot of resources out there for you to seek help. Ensure if you are anyone that you know is being cyberbullied, ensure and encourage them rather to speak up to a trusted adult. The Minister of Education recently spoke about this matter. She highlighted the seriousness of this matter and would have mentioned the two recent cases of suicide that
Mm-hmm.
was due to suspected bullying in schools, which is a very unfortunate situation. And also indicated that the Ministry of Education will be working with the Ministry of National Security in schools to address the matter of cyberbullying and bullying on a whole. The Ministry of Education has programs and takes measures for in which parents can reach out to them to get the help that they need should they suspect that their children are being bullied in schools. If you are anyone that is struggling with suicidal thoughts, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has the suicide prevention helpline, which is 888 New Life. So I just want to emphasize that resources
Yes.
within the government.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Very important info being shared here inside our campus connection. We're talking about safety and security, and we are having, I would say, a very fruitful conversation that is very important based on where we are now as a nation and as the world on a whole. And speaking on that, when we think of cybersecurity, we think of the cyberspace. As technology evolves, what new risk should we be preparing for? What are some of the things that we should be looking out for? How can we safeguard? Because when I think of deep fakes and the emergence of AI and all of that, it can be pretty scary knowing that somebody can make a video of me doing something and it's not actually me. So Zoe, as a security operations personnel, what are the new risks that we should be looking out for?
Okay, yeah. So we're seeing also misuse of AI. So firstly, in phishing. So originally, phishing emails were very obvious. Probably
All right,
Amazon.
sorry. You have to break down phishing for our viewers and our listeners
Okay,
who
these
may not
are
be familiar.
fake emails that are sent by trusted people in your life. So it could be looks really legitimate, but it's fake. So at first, these were very, very easy to spot. Like Amazon would probably be spelled Tamazon, or like it'd be very blatant. But now with AI, it's not obvious anymore. It looks really real, and it definitely copies how you talk, what you like, and hits you with things that they know will get an action out of you. I saw this post, like it showed that Microsoft on an email, the attacker will put R and N together to make the M, and they do these tricks to really catch you. So you have to be able to spot these things. And the next one is identity theft. So AI can really deep fake your face or even copy your voice, and they can literally pretend to be you online. So I know you guys can think about how dangerous this is. It can really trick people in your life, ruin your reputation, so many detrimental things. Then you also have exploitation and extortion. Again, it can make fake videos, screenshots, or conversations to blackmail you. And the last one is fake news. So I realize as a society, we kind of not really gravitate towards positivity, is more negativity. So these fake news normally come into a negative light, and it pumps up these things that look very legit, but it can mess with your opinions, trick people into buying stuff, ignite fear, so many things. And a lot of people might wonder, is safety everyone's responsibility? Like, why is it important? So, we're all online and we all play a role in keeping the space safe. Just like how you wouldn't want to see, you wouldn't want a community that's not secure. That's how we should treat the internet, because we post, we scroll, we do gaming, we study. So our actions affect others too. So if someone shares harmful content, please report it, because this can spread. If you see somebody being cyberbullied and everybody stays silent, it can really and truly get worse. If you ignore all the safety tips, you could really truly put yourself and others at risk. So please,
at risk.
Yeah, so please play your responsibility. And for the different sectors, like the schools, we should really incorporate cybersecurity in the curriculum so that everybody from an early age will know how to navigate this realm. I think it's important to start young. As parents, I feel like we don't like, as parents don't like to tackle these conversations, it can be very difficult. So we should have regular conversations about online activities. Try to make your child be very transparent about what they're doing online, encourage this kind of environment. And as peers, we should really support our friends being bullied or harassed, really speak up against harmful behavior online.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for sharing those very interesting risk that we have to look out for when it comes on to cybersecurity. We're going to take a quick break. We want you to stick and stay with us as we, enter into the last segment of Campus Connection here on the family station, Love 101.
Let's get digital. TAJ is now issuing all motor vehicle registration certificates exclusively digital. You need an email address for the process and instructions will be sent to you. No more stickers, no more paper. Choose your registration period of 6, 12, or now 24 months. Private motor vehicle operators can renew online, but for all other motor vehicles, you must visit a tax office. For more info, call 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm. TAJ, working together to serve you even better.
Me just never did I get through with no work, and me did I get desperate. Till one day me see one ad, but them want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station, 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security.
I am a man, yes. Strong man.
On the next episode of The Mailbox, we will focus on suicide prevention. It is said that most suicidal individuals give warning signs or signals of their intentions. Suicide prevention starts with recognizing the warning signs and taking them seriously. Learn what can be done if you think a friend or family member is suicidal and the tools that you can use to help save the life of someone who is thinking of harming themselves. You are invited to join the conversation with our special guest, Dr. Donovan Thomas, founder of Choose Life International, celebrating 17 years on Wednesday, October 1, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. on the family station, Love 101, The Mailbox, Monday.
Strong man, integrity man, I am a man. Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strap up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection here on the family station Love 101, proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. If you're just joining us, we're continuing our conversation about safety and security, and we're joined by, of course, two wonderful guests who are experts, if you will, in the field. We are talking about Ashley and Zoe Duncan. Before the break, we spoke about several things surrounding cyberbullying, how you can prevent certain things if you look out for different threats and risks within the cyberspace. But now I want to really go into something that I believe is super important when we talk about the cyberspace and we talk about safety and security on a whole. And Zoe would have alluded to the whole thing of safety is everyone's responsibility. It's very important for each and every one of us to play a vital role in protecting and safeguarding against threats, especially online within the digital space. But actually, when you think of young people, when you think of students, because oftentimes as adults now, we're like, why are they behaving like that? Or why are they doing that? But the truth is, if we think back to our time when we were in high school, in primary school, in university, we did similar things, but in different ways, right? So I've seen several things online where young people are really getting involved within the social media space, especially TikTok, right? What are some of the things that schools need to do to ensure that our young people remain safe? What are some of the things that our campuses can do to safeguard our young people, especially within the digital space?
Okay. So firstly, I would suggest awareness initiatives such as sensitization sessions about the implications of being out there in, so to speak. Um so I believe that it is our responsibility because growing up, you're curious, you're trying many different things, and I'm sure we know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of young people utilizing. I have a niece that loves TikTok. She's not allowed to post, thank God, but you really have to monitor them as much as you can. So for the schools, I would suggest having sensitization sessions. So
Mm-hmm.
allow let them know about responsible use of social media, of their devices, and how to treat each other with respect online. And in doing this, not only for schools but parents as well are very important. They say it takes a village, and it really does.
Yes.
It applies to use of the cyberspace as well, because children are very vulnerable. And when we're growing up, a lot of times we think we know it all, but we really don't. And
Mm-hmm.
parents have a role to play because they are with their children. There are certain things that they will see that the school might not be privy to, and the other way around. So the same way, I would say, the same way that you monitor your children when they're at home or on the road, or even within the school area, uh and the sanctions that we'll put in place, the things that we put in place to protect them, we have to take similar measures to how they utilize the digital space. So the same way you would want your children to be aware of their surroundings and general things to keep them safe in life, you have to be just as stringent about how they're utilizing their devices. You have to ensure that you're monitoring their accounts. And I know you asked about what schools should do, but I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
emphasize the importance of parents
Yeah.
as well, because it takes a village to raise children, like I
Yeah.
said.
Absolutely. Staying with you, Ashley. So I'm going to put you on the spot a bit.
Okay.
What? So you mentioned your niece. She loves TikTok, but she's not allowed to post. What age is too young? Or what is the ideal age in your mind, based on your expertise and all of that, for parents to allow their children to have access to social media?
Um, when I was younger, I would have said 13. But honestly, I mean, not that I'm older or anything, but having, experience life, like my teenage years and early adulthood, I would honestly say around 16, at the very
Mm,
minimum, or probably 18,
16.
because at the end of the day, you are responsible for your child, until they're 18 years of age. You are responsible for them. So there are a lot of things that I feel like it is within your rights as a parent to say they can't do until they're 18 years old. And mind you, when I was a teenager, I was one of them that thought I knew it all and I was so responsible. But looking back, even when I was deactivating my Facebook page, there are so many posts that I was like, actually, at the time, if my mother had tried to take me off Facebook, I would have a lot to say, probably be a little bit rebellious. But
Mm-hmm.
as parents and as teachers, they know why they're doing the things that they're doing. And I would say minimum age 16 years old.
16, 16. Zoe, how you feeling about that?
I mean, I agree. Like when we're at certain ages, we feel like we know it all. But then when you reach the different steps, you're like, damn, like I didn't know it at all. Like I didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything at all. So it's like I think 16 is the best age, to be honest.
All right, there you have it, parents, guardians. I'm not saying that you should take this advice, but it's reasonable. It's reasonable coming from the experts. Um, and well, wow, we're running out of time. So Ashley, a quick tip for our parents or campusites, anybody in particular, what's one tip that you'd want to leave with them?
So generally speaking, when it comes to safety and security, particularly in the cyberspace, and I would just like to reiterate something I already said earlier in the program. The same way you live your day-to-day life, apply the similar security measures in the digital space, in how you handle your data and your devices. Trust me, it will help a lot. And there are so many analogies we can throw at you, and it might sound a little cliche, but it's very true. The way you would operate within your homes, the extra steps that you would take to, nobody goes in, well, that most people, I think, wouldn't just go inside and turn the lock. You have something extra, a bolt, maybe a grill, because you don't trust what's lurking outside. So I would say operate similarly within cyberspace. If you're using a password, take the extra step of using multi-factor authentication as well, stuff like that. So I would say just try to be more vigilant in how you utilize your data and devices. Be responsible.
Thank you so much. Zoe, your quick tip?
Yes, I definitely agree. The internet is an amazing tool, but you have to protect your account just like you protect your house. Like, think before you click, question what you see, and never be afraid to speak up if something feels off. And be like, honestly, I love social media, I love the internet, but I see the negative effects, and I just wish everybody would tap into the positive side.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you've learned something from this evening's show. Want to say a special thanks to Ashley and Zoe Duncan for joining us for this very important conversation here inside Campus Connection. Ladies, thank you so much for being here with us this evening.
Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having us. It was great.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to the end of yet another episode of Campus Connection. I know that, you are probably wondering, okay, what do I need to do now to really safeguard against certain things and whatever? And I'm glad that you're having those thoughts, because it's super, super, super important that we take the necessary steps to safeguard not just ourselves, but those around us, to ensure that we all remain safe, in good spirits, and in good health. Thank you so much for making it Campus Connection this evening on the family station Love 101. Next week, October 7, we'll be talking about school safety with Mr. Sean Graham, principal of Magate High School. So you want to be here with us for that. Special thanks to our team: Jermaine Johnson, Nicky Angus, Shania Smith, Daniel Cox, David Sutton, Eden Palmer, Ruth Lawrence, Camille Lawrence, and Raquel Robertson. They are truly the engine behind Campus Connection. They really understand what we need to do on a weekly basis, and we're grateful for them. Thanks to our guests for making it Campus Connection this evening, and to you, our listeners and our viewers, thank you so much for making it Campus Connection. That's it for our show this week. Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. See you next week as we explore more things while going on campus. I am Jonathan Fletcher.
Walk one campus. How we are carry lot on campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one. Hey, so make us on then listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know where love
You're tuned to Family Radio, broadcasting from Kingston, Jamaica.